During the late 80s and early 90s, there seemed to be a clear top tier of NBA centers with Hakeem Olajuwon, Patrick Ewing, and David Robinson. But during this period, there was a very underappreciated and underrated center that was perhaps just a bit below that top tier of elite centers. That player was Brad Daugherty, but then perhaps some would say that number 43 does belong in that top group. For the 1986 NBA draft, the Cleveland Cavaliers selected the former North Carolina Tar Heels center, Brad Daugherty, first overall. Daugherty wound up being on the NBA All-Rookie team, averaging 15.7 points per game and 8.1 rebounds per game while shooting 54% from the field. Then, for 5 of the next 6 seasons, Daugherty would be named an NBA All-Star and would be in the middle of a young Cavs team that had the talent to be title contenders. The only year during the 6-year period where Daugherty wasn't an All-Star was for the 89-90 season, where the Cavs center only played in 41 games. Daugherty had some exceptional skills. He was excellent at getting position in the post and had moves, body control, and instincts to score. The move that I think of most in Daugherty's repertoire is getting the ball on the left side in the post, then going right with a hook shot off one foot. Furthermore, the North Carolina native could also run the floor and really had some good hands to catch some of those Mark Price bullets, as that combo of Price to Daugherty was lethal. So here's the thing about the Cavs big man in comparison to the lead center trio I mentioned earlier. Daugherty was not as fluid and not as athletic as Olajuwon, Robinson, and Ewing, but I will say this on the plus side with this juxtaposition. Daugherty had a higher basketball IQ, was more fundamentally sound, and during this time, Daugherty, he was the best passing big man. He was an exceptional passer, one of the best passing big men ever. But after number 43's final All-Star appearance, Daugherty would play only one more season, averaging 17 and 10, while playing in only 50 games. Then after that, Daugherty would retire due to back injuries. Now, before I put Brad Daugherty's career in perspective, I want to mention a couple of things. First, Brad Daugherty Burger, Brad's Bacon Cheddar Special, looks extremely awesome. And second, in the basketball movie Eddie, I really like Daugherty in the movie, as he did a lot of talking. Now, some of this, it was just defensive communication speak, but a lot of it was trash talk. And I wonder if Daugherty was really like that as a player, constantly talking on the court. But anyways, Daugherty, he was a tremendous center, as I always felt he was very underappreciated and underrated, as he was very skilled. Now, part of that could be that Daugherty only played 8 seasons in the NBA. Moreover, he seemed to be overshadowed by Ewing, Olajuwon, and Robinson. And then, there were other prominent centers who were retiring or near the end of their careers. Now, I do want to mention that perhaps Daugherty, he had a better NBA career than centers Ralph Sampson and Bill Walton, who were both in the Hall of Fame, but it's the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame and not the Professional Basketball Hall of Fame. And thus, Walton and Sampson, they had exceptional college careers to go along with the brief flashes of greatness in the NBA. So Daugherty, he didn't get the notoriety as Walton and Sampson. And then there's a rings argument, in which annoys me very much, as Walton got 2 NBA championship rings. Meanwhile, Daugherty, he had the team to compete for titles, but that championship window closed quickly due to injuries and a really bad trade that sent Ron Harper to LA. And then there's also this man. But in the end, you can't deny that Brad Daugherty was an extremely skilled center who unfortunately had his career end early, as things didn't go in the right direction for a talented Cleveland squad to win a championship. Real quick, I just want to thank all those who have supported 90 Sports Nostalgia. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share, and check out the links below for Patreon. Thank you so much. Brad Daugherty, the most underappreciated and underrated center.